Okay, today is January 24th of 2014, and I'm going to try calling the National Organization for Victims Assistance, TRYNOVA. And I tried Nova about 3 weeks ago. Oops, that didn't work. I'm trying to go on speakerphone the way that one lady did with her getting her sexual predator. Nope. I don't want that. Speaker. There we go. TRYNOVA. Yeah, hi, I'm trying to get a hold of the Director of Victim Services, James Gerke.
Okay. Are you calling regarding victim assistance?
Yes.
Okay, I can help you, unless you have an ongoing conversation with Mr. Gerke.
Well, I would like to start an ongoing conversation with him.
Okay, well, if you haven't, this is our victim assistance line, so I'm happy to work with you.
Well, I'd like to speak with Mr. Gerke, please.
Well, he is not available. That's why I'm offering my services to you, sir.
Do you know when he would be available?
I do not at present because he's currently traveling.
Do you know when he's going to be back?
I do not specifically.
Is there a better time I can call back and talk to him?
Well, that's really a good question. Again, if you've actually reached our victim assistance line, is there a particular reason you need Mr. Gerke to address your concerns?
Yes, there is. It's a matter I'd like to speak with him about.
Okay. Well, the reason I say that is because I'm actually the executive director here.
Okay. So I see that he is the Director of Victim Services. That's why I was figuring I'd speak with him.
I understand that, but everyone here that answers the phone in terms of our victim assistance line is trained to do so. As the Director of Victim Services, he commonly gets emails that he responds to, and you might have received a response from him.
I never got a response. I've been having a really hard time writing all this down the way people say I need to.
Okay. Well, again, sir, I'm happy to help you.
Well, is there a projected window when Mr. Gerke might be back?
Well, sir, he actually works for me. So, I'm offering my services to you because I can't actually project that. He's currently traveling on the road. He actually does a lot of training.
Well, I got a difficult time talking with you. The last time I talked with you, you called the police on me.
Aha, yes. That's exactly right, because you were abusive. Mr. Gerke is not going to talk to you because I've informed him not to, sir.
How do you mean I was abusive? I simply been trying to talk to Mr. Gerke and oh, how was it? You know, it's been 17 years that I've been fighting this battle. I think you told me you didn't want to hear that. You wanted to hear positive things.
That is not true, sir. I remember our conversation. It's documented well. You were quite abusive on the phone, which is why the call had to be terminated.
Well, how do you mean I was abusive?
language. You were very harsh, critical, and quite abrupt and abusive. I've been doing this for 20 years, sir. I know when somebody's abusive to me. And I know when I don't want to expose my staff to that particular behavior. I'm sensitive to people who are angry, but as a professional, I worked very hard to work with you, and you continually and repeatedly called back, did you not?
Simply so I could leave a message with Mr. Gerke that I would like to speak with him.
That's exactly right. And since he works for me, and since I worked for you, I worked with you to try to assist you, and it was not productive. I was not going to expose my staff to that, sir.
Well, could you refresh your memory how you tried to work with me and what my story is?
Yes. Your name is Don. You live in Alaska. You had significant issues with a lot of people, including false arrests and so on. So I know your story. We spent 30 minutes on the phone discussing it. I worked very hard to try to understand how right now I can assist you, starting with one problem at a time. And when you did not get what you wanted, which is certainly always a possibility, you became abusive to me, sir, and I terminated the call.
I don't...
And then you proceeded to call back continually. And then when you would not stop, I did call local police, and I informed them that we were being harassed by you because you were tying up our victim assistance line.
You know, I've been trying to get assistance. I've been to the Office of Victims' Rights here in Alaska several times. The last time I was there, they told me others are best helped if nothing's done for me. That was the director, Victor Castor, I believe it is now.
I appreciate that, sir, but I recommended things to you, and you basically were extremely critical of them, which is certainly your opinion. But when you were critical of the resources that I would offer, I didn't have anything else to offer, and you did become abusive, sir. Could
you refresh my memory what services you offered me?
No, sir. Because if you, and talking for 30 minutes, you were not able to ascertain what I was offering to you, I can't move forward. And I'm not going to continue this call once again, not because you're particularly a problem now, but because I truly cannot help you. And I don't, after 17 years, you've not been able to navigate the system effectively, and I can perceive why. Because you can be very critical, demanding, and verbally abusive, sir.
I don't remember.
People will treat you very similarly.
I don't remember being abusive to you. I do remember trying to.
You don't remember? Are you on medication?
No, sir. I don't do any medication. I smoke heavily cigarettes. That's my what do they call it? Self-medication, I believe, is what it is.
Yeah.
And basically,
you quickly turned on me, sir, and became extremely and verbally abusive. So, I can't speak to your issues. I don't know you personally. All I can do is interact with the voice on the phone. And, again, after 17 years calling to our victim assistance line, that I gave you, I thought, some meaningful advice. But if you didn't want to heed that, again, that is up to you. But we will not receive verbal abuse here. It does not serve the person we're helping, and it does not serve my staff.
Could you refresh my memory on what the advice was that you gave me?
Oh, well, there's a lot of advice, most likely, but usually it revolves around how to be effective as an advocate for yourself. That commonly includes when you call somebody, starting with one person, one problem, their area of expertise. Secondly, not leading with, I've had so many injustices, so many problems, you're not going to believe this, I doubt you can help me. It's the opposite. Working to focus when you call somebody and say, look, I believe you can help me based upon my understanding of what you do. Victims commonly, intuitively think that they're going to convince somebody to help them by saying, I've got 17 years worth of problems, can you help me sort that out? And that is not possible. You've been dealing with this for a long time. So we recommend actually telegraphing to the person you're calling that they can help you. That is a meaningful way to address that. Because if you say, I've got 1,000 problems, can you help me? The reasonable person on the other end says, no, I can't help you solve 1,000 problems. I might be able to help you solve one. Sir, do you not recognize that you were abusive to me?
I don't see where I was abusive to you.
Okay, that is a particular problem that you do face. Because as an advocate, I can understand if you're working with other people and you communicated to them like you communicated to me, you would create problems for yourself. They would not want to work with you. And if you're not aware of your own insensitivity toward your communication and how you communicate, I would recommend coaching in that regard for you locally.
You know,
people are people, quite frankly. And when you talk to them like you talk to me, I'm willing to endure anger and things. We do not endure abuse here. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for us. And you were very contentious and insistent on what you wanted, and I can't help you there.
Geez, I'm at a loss here. I think I explained to you how I've been controlled by nightmares. The holidays are the absolute worst. I think I called you like the first week of January or something. It's almost 3 weeks ago, and after talking with you, that was what.
3rd of January.
What was that?
It was the 3rd of January.
The 3rd of January. Okay, so. The nightmares haven't improved. I think I've explained how I'm all scatterbrained. I'm controlled over the horror that's happened to me. It happens to me daily. My mother, the last words out of her mouth to me was she never wanted to see me again.
Well, Don, I'm very sympathetic to your plight. I truly am. But at the same time, if you are abusive, which you were, okay, I'm a professional. I know abuse. I know the difference between being angry and frustrated and being abusive to the person you're talking to.
I don't Can you explain what I said that I was abusive to you?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm not going to go there. This is not a therapy session. This is not a counseling line.
I'm calling Nova. I have been what I want to say, the whole system for me getting my victims' rights is the very system that's violating my victims' rights.
I know your story quite well, sir. I cannot help you.
What can you tell me what my story is? I kind of want to make sure we're on the same field here.
Sir, I'm very clear. I know your name. I know where you live. I know your phone number.
Okay.
I know the story. I'm not going to rehearse this for you.
I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to make sure we're on the same field. I don't know the story that you know. I'm not a mind reader. And that's.
I'm telling you, there's no mind to read. I'm just very clear with you. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly what happened. I know your story. I know where you live. We talked for 30 minutes. It's well documented. I'm not going to review this with you.
Okay. Since
you truly need to find another resource, okay?
Well, there are no other resources, and I figure since you're the National Organizations for Victims Assistance, this is where I turn to.
Well, unfortunately, we can't help you specifically. I think that was made clear to me when I spent 30 minutes with you on January 3rd. Okay?
Now,
I'm sorry you're disappointed if that's the case, but that is a reality. We're a humble national charity. We do our best. I've been doing work like this for better part of 20 years. So you do find something that's helpful to you, but it is not here.
So in the 20 years that you've been doing this, have you run into any attorneys who would look into something like this? The injustice that's been done to me, the dignity that's been stolen from me. You know, it's.
We talked about this the last time, and the attorneys that I would recommend to you, you were critical of and pretty derisive. So
Douglas Beloof. You mean Douglas Beloof, the nation's leading expert in victims' rights, invited me down to Portland, Oregon, and within 3 minutes of being there, he told me to leave or he would have me arrested. And
Yeah, I know why.
and
Because if you were abusive to him in that context, he probably perceived threat. Sir, if you don't remember exactly how abusive you were to me, you do have a serious problem, I can tell you. If your memory is, you have no conscious memory of how abusive you were on the phone to me, you have a significant problem.
did I yell at you?
I can count on one hand the number of times that I ended up calling local police to report a problem with a victim assistance call. And you were one of them.
Did I yell at you?
It's a very rare occurrence. Sir, you were abusive.
Did I yell at you?
Yes, you did.
I did. What did I yell at you then?
Sir, I am not doing this. I'm not being baited by you. I appreciate your struggle.
I'm trying to.
I'm going
Hey,
to end the phone call now, okay?
well, I was.
Please do not call us back. Please do not call us back, okay?
So the official word from the National Organizations of Victims Assistance is for me not to contact you again.
Yes, it is the official word.
And you're the executive director.
I am indeed. I have the right to make that call.
And who do you answer to then? I would like to speak to, everybody has got somebody they answer to.
I report to a board of directors, and you're very welcome to write to the board president. He is listed on our website.
Yes, he's a retired judge in Scottsdale, Arizona. Am I correct?
No, sir. You just need to look on the website. I'm not going to hold your hand through this, sir.
Well, he founded something called P7. Is that the
Sir, I'm going to just gently end the conversation, okay? The information is there. Obviously, you're reviewing it for me, so please use it, okay?
I just wanted to make sure I was in the right place. And that's the National Organization of Victims Assistance. And I don't know what the abusive part was. I talked to him just about the same as I am now, except for Douglas Beloof. And I never raised my voice. Okay, YouTube, let's see if this does anything. I'd like to thank you for your time.